In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone, Paul Amadeus Lane. So happy you decided to stay with me. Remember, you can always connect with me, PaulAmadeusLane.com. You are in the Tech Zone here on ABC News Radio KMET, iHeartRadio, iTunes, live stream, YouTube, whatever stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. The trade war. What is up? With everything going on in the news, is that something that we haven't kept our eye on? Because this is really, no doubt, and impacting all of us. And I'm so happy that an organization like the Consumer Technology Association, the CTA, exists. Because they are out there advocating not only for consumers, but for the whole tech industry around the world. And whenever I get confused with things that affect tech, affect trade, I go to them. I run to them because they're a lot smarter than me. And I'm so happy to have my next guest back with me. She promised to come back. And when I interviewed her at CES 2019, I said, please come back. Well, we'll talk tariffs. She said, absolutely. So I'm so happy. I didn't scare her away. I'm so happy to have with me right now one of my pals from CTA. Not just any pal from the CTA. She's the director of strategic communications over there, Izzy Santa. Izzy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Izzy, I'm doing fantastic. It is so great to see you again. We saw each other at CES. You gave one of our most memorable interviews. People are still talking about that. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing just everything you did about CES and technology. We really, really appreciate it. One question, though, that people keep asking me about you, Izzy. They said, is Izzy her professional name? So can you squelch the rumors about that?
So it can be very confusing. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. My name is Isabel. But when I moved over to the States, everyone called me Izzy.
I love it. And Santa is your really last name, right?
That is not a fake. That is real.
Wow.
And it's my maiden name. And my husband and I got into dispute. He wanted me to change it. I said, no, I can't give this up. It's too awesome. So, yeah.
It is, because people ask me about my name. They said, is Paul Lane your real name? I said, yes, that's my birth name. Now, my middle name, that's a rumor out there. My government name, I'll never tell nobody, but my middle name, Amadeus, I'll tell a story about that later on. But Izzy, I'm so happy to have you with me today, because you and I talked several months ago about taxes. Mm-hmm. Tariffs. Izzy, why do I keep calling it taxes? Is it tariffs or taxes?
Because they're interchangeable. Tariffs are taxes. Tariffs is what happens in the legal sense, but when you use the application of a tariff, which means it increases the price on a duty of something that's imported to the U.S., that means you have an extra tax on it.
So, Izzy, where are we now when it comes to these tariffs and taxes? Since the last time we spoke, we heard an announcement a few weeks ago coming out the administration about certain things. So help us just deal with all the minutia about it and help explain it to us if you can, please.
Yeah, so President Trump and the Chinese president have agreed to not raise taxes, tariffs, from 10% to 25% on $200 billion worth of imported goods from China. So right now that is stable. There's some uncertainty. And the administration and the Chinese president are making some progress. We've heard some things where the Chinese have said they're going to buy more liquefied natural gas, more soybeans. They're looking to amend some of their rules when it comes to IP theft and forced technology transfers. And the administration has said that if they like the deal that they see, they may perhaps remove all tariffs, or at least the 10% tariffs on the $200 billion. So we're making progress. We're rooting for the administrator to make a deal that really makes sure that trade works for the people.
And what has these tariffs done to innovation and technology out there? Has it hurt the industry?
So one of the things that we do at the Consumer Technology Association is at the cost that it's having on small businesses and large brands. And what I can tell you based on our research that we monthly track is that approximately it costs the tech industry an additional $1 billion a month. And so that means that there's less investment going on. There might be holding capital. They might be considering what to do with job expansion. So some things might be held up because of the uncertainty. So this is not good. And overall, tariffs are taxes. That means that the consumers do pay more, and that means it'll lower GDP. It means that investment will be reduced, and it means that we won't grow the economy overall.
So when it comes to that fact, Izzy, over at the Consumer Technology Association, where do you guys come in to help ratify this? Do you meet with administration, individuals, ones in part of the administration? Do consumers voice their displeasure, and you go help advocate for all of us combined? How do you guys fit in? Because you guys do a fantastic job. I don't know all that you do, but whatever you do a great job. That's all I have to say. I've talked to some people who've dealt with you, and they say you don't mess around, you don't play.
So I am proud to say that our organization has been a leader in fighting tariffs. In the first list of tariffs, the administration wanted to put a tax on televisions. And so that would mean a big ticket item coming into the holiday season where consumers might be looking to give them as gifts or get new products into their homes. They would face a hefty tax. So we made the economic case to the administration that these tariffs would not be good. All tariffs are bad, but specifically on TVs, it would be bad going into the holiday season. And the administration listened, and they did not apply a tariff on TVs. But on some other parts, we haven't been as successful. We have tariffs on chips. The semiconductor industry is facing that. We've had some successes in the fact that wearables, some types of tablets, those things do not have a tariff because we made the economic sense that these large emerging technologies are what's fueling the economy, especially as you're going into a holiday season. And the administration realized that when you do the math, it's really going to hurt consumers. And they decided, well, we want to put some pressure on China. That's whether you say it's a good strategy or not, that's up for debate. We think it's a bad one. But they chose not to have any type of Bluetooth connected device, whether it be a wearable or a headset or earbud, not receive a tariff. So we've had some wins and some losses, and most of the business community has been rallying around the fact of making economic sense and testifying in front of the administration to let them know how harmful this is, not just for their bottom line, their employees, but the overall economy and how it impacts consumers.
Izzy, you bring up a very good point, because as I'm delving deeper and deeper in adaptive technology and assistive technologies for ones who are disabled or aging community, this is something that will hurt my segment of the population, because if you know, disposable income is not as high as ones who, let's say, are working full time, and because many people who are aging and disabled, they are on a fixed income. They don't have that much money. And so an increase of $30 or $40 on specific things can really hurt them and price this wonderful technology just out of the park. And when it comes to this effect that it has not only just on one segment of the population, but multiple segments, do you see now where the administration wish they could have just took a step back and said, you know what, maybe we'll think about this a little bit more, not be like a bull in the china shop?
I mean, they used a blunt instrument to pressure China to take action, and that's with tariffs. And it's unclear yet whether the tactic worked. If you want to use the administration's logic, they say that by having tariffs will improve our trade deficit, and that's what President Trump has been championing and discussing, that the trade deficit is what alarms him the most. But the trade deficit increased by almost 12% when you compare a 10-year span. So I'm not sure if the administration knows exactly whether this was a win or not. I think it's too early to tell. I can tell you that from our perspective, tariffs are not the right solution. Even if what we get is not a deal that actually reforms the abuses of unfair trade practices, then what was all of this for, right? Why did we make things cost more money? Why did we hold up investment? Why did we hold job creation? For what? And I think when this comes around, the agreement, everyone's going to be very interesting. And President Trump will be measured by how successful he is or how unsuccessful he is on the trade deal with China.
And you know, when it comes to GDP, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I know you have other ones in the organization that deal with marketing and research and everything, but when we look at GDP and how, you know, this administration touts about how the GDP is going to grow to this amount and everything, and we still don't know what's going to happen, but how can this right here, if this does not get resolved, if China says, you know what, you want to come at me, bring it. What happens if everybody just sticks their chests out, doesn't do any negotiation, everybody just stands their ground? Izzy, I want you to use your Jedi powers if you can. What do you think we're in store for just in the economy here?
You know, if we continue to have taxes on steel, on aluminum, on cars, on wearables, on cribs, on clothing, I think come the election cycle, there is going to be a true conversation where the president may have to defend the actions that he took. And he's going to have to spin how this isn't a tax and how tariffs has helped the economy grow. And the fact is that it hasn't helped the economy grow. The business uncertainty is what holds up the job creation that we are craving. We have a strong dollar now. We need to be booming. But right now we're not at that speed because the uncertainty that's in place, and businesses you're not going to make a business deal if you don't know what the terms and conditions are. So if we don't know what the terms and conditions are with China, then it makes it difficult for American businesses to put their plans in place.
And I know when it comes to just China in general, a lot of people out there may not realize just the impact that China has on not just the economy here, but the global economy. You have ones who are supporters of the president, supporters of the other side as well too, and all they look at is that China's the bad man. They do this and that. But how come a person should really educate themselves on the impact that China has on the global economy to really understand that if this is a good tactic or not?
Our economy has changed fundamentally. The industrial age to an age where we are now in the high-tech sector. Our economy is growing because of innovation. And China is trying to become like the United States. China is still behind. They're still trying. They're where we were 30 years ago. And so they're making leaps and bounds, and we should be scared, and we should be competing against them because competition is what makes us leaders, and we shouldn't be afraid of that. But our strength in the United States is innovation. It's where we're headed. We create the future. So if we're creating the future, we should be able to also course our own path. And that's why the United States has so many, if you will, so-called unicorns. Companies have been started that are worth $1 billion. And that's where our bread and butter is. And we have to continue to grow that because that's what's going to provide the jobs and opportunities for tomorrow.
That is so true, so true. And Izzy, before I let you go, because I know you have a very, very busy schedule, and I'm so happy that you carved off a niche to spend some time with me today. Anything else out there you'd like to articulate to the audience, to the viewer out there, just about these taxes? Oh, I did it again. I mean tariffs. Izzy, anything else you'd like to explain to the masses?
I would encourage everyone to just visit cta.tech/tariffs, and we have more information on how that impacts our industry, and it expands further on our position. And I welcome your conversation. Follow us on Twitter at CTA So see you there.
That's awesome. Hey, you just got an award. Was it a couple of months ago? You got recognized, right? Why don't you tell us about that?
Thank you. I am one of a few women that can say that we have the award of the 2019 Women of the Year in PR, so public relations, which is what I do at CTA. And I'm very thankful to be joined by so many other women who have really, fought very hard for where they are today. And it's from mentors that have gotten us here. So if anybody wants to be in this field and they need a mentor or they want to bounce some ideas, feel free to find me. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, Izzy is awesome, too. And Izzy, I think I would get in trouble with my buddy Gary if I didn't mention his book that's right in the back right there. Why don't you tell everybody about Gary's book back there? Because I don't want the CEO or the president to get mad at me for not mentioning that.
Gary Shapiro, the CEO of the Consumer Technology Association, has done his third book, and his third book is called Ninja Future. And the premise of the book is highlighting technologies that are really taking the world forward. So we're discussing things like artificial intelligence and then how that's applied in the healthcare sector. How is the machine learning going to change the workforce? How is automation going to change the way that we become more efficient? So it's a great read, and it's very easy, and it's very personalized. And the best part is, that I think he'd want me to say is that he actually went on Audible and recorded the book himself. So if you want the true experience of feeling the words behind the writer, then I would encourage you to buy the audiobook on Audible or on Amazon.
I love it. I love it. And tell Gary I'm still kind of sour or salty that he didn't ask me to read the book, because I would have put like some, right here when it come to tech and everything in them. I would have did all of that. We would have had some fun. But thank you so much.
We make a fourth book.
Oh yeah, so the fourth book. I'll put a little street spin, street cred to it. We'll do that. But Izzy, always great talking to you, my friend. Looking forward to catching up with you soon. What is the next line of succession when it comes to tariffs? What date should we look at next? Again, just in clothing. In closing, I'm sorry. Think about clothes. In closing.
I believe towards the end of the month, the administration's hosting the Chinese president in South Florida, and that's when we'll know more of the details on the trade deal and the progress that we've made. So I would say stay tuned towards the end of the month of March.
Awesome. Can I get you back on then and we can chop it up?
Absolutely. I love talking about tariffs.
That sounds good, my friend. Have a great one.
You too. Bye.
That was Izzy Santa from CTA. I always enjoy talking to Izzy. Just one of the bright minds when it comes to tech and what's going on. And she shed a lot of light on the taxes. I mean, tariffs. And so happy that she's going to join me again once we get some more info about this. And I love talking to her about her name too, because I thought it was a stage name. That's pretty cool. Izzy Santa. I thought mine was pretty cool. Paul Amadeus Lane, but she got to be beat. Not got to be beat, she got to be beat. All right, so this will be the end of our show. So don't forget, we got some great segments coming up, talking about senior tech. We're going to be talking about assistive tech. We're going to talk about education tech. Every tech out there we're going to be chatting about on our next show, and more shows coming up. That's what we call it, the Tech Zone, because we're everywhere. Not everywhere. All right, so take care of yourself, and until next time, I love you folks. And don't forget, connect with me, PaulAmadeusLane.com.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.